Do you want to find an amazing protein powder option that tastes great, doesn't cost an arm and a leg, and even better, helps you reach your fitness goals? In this video, I want to break down for you 3 protein powder options that are a great Shakeology alternative, provide you a specific review, and give you a recommendation that will help you decide. Let's get into it. Welcome to Dad Bod Fitness. If you and I are just meeting, my name is David. I help crazy busy dads to build a physique. If you want to maximize your muscle growth, strip the body fat, and transform your life while leading your family, consider subscribing. Protein powder is a great and convenient way to actually hit your protein intake for the day, and they're gonna help satiate you. But beware of the protein powder that you are taking. Make sure it's a good quality, and better yet, probably best not to make a protein powder your only source of protein. Use it when it's needed or when it's just convenient to have a fast source of protein. If you drink a protein shake every day, that's absolutely okay. Just make sure that it's a quality one. And all of these protein powders that I'm about to share with you today are all great options from the research that I've done. One fascinating thing that I actually found was there was a Harvard study done by a nonprofit, the Clean Label Project, and they found in this study of the 134 protein powders that they sampled within their test, plant protein powders actually tested worse on average than protein powders that used egg as the primary source of protein. And also interesting was that organic protein powders actually contained 2 times the amount of heavy metals in them as compared to non-organic protein powders. So the reason I bring this up is just to say that it is vitally important that we are very specific in our choice of protein powders. I don't think it should by any means mean that you only use protein powders that are, for instance, have egg as their primary source of protein. Just make sure that of the protein powder that you're getting, know what you're taking into your body and make sure that it's a quality protein powder. So let's start with the big one that obviously is gonna impact most people is the taste. Because yes, the quality matters, but we also want good quality tasting protein powder. So without further ado, the first protein powder, please. Not what I was expecting. Love you, but I need that. Woo! There we go. Orgains Organic Protein Powder. All right, so the Orgains Organic Protein Powder, I had this one recommended to me a while ago and finally got around to tasting it. And I was actually pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed this one. I did both a shake and I mixed them with almond milk typically. Sometimes I'll try them with water just to see how they stand with pure taste. But I tried this with almond milk, did a protein sludge, and I also tried a protein shake. Really enjoyed the taste of this. It wasn't the best that I've ever tasted, and this is the chocolate flavor. Wasn't the best that I've ever tasted, but it is actually pretty good. And I was pretty impressed too that it came up with a really great protein sludge as well. Now this mixes really well and it also does have a pretty good texture. And the next one on the list is Arbonne Protein Powder. Please! Okay, not quite what I was expecting. But he's got it, the Arbonne Protein Powder. Thank you, sir. Arbonne Protein Powder. Now this is the vanilla flavor. They do also have chocolate and a couple other ones as well. So for the Arbonne, this vanilla flavor, I also love the chocolate flavor. They've done special flavors as well that are phenomenal and incredible. But even just looking at the chocolate or the vanilla flavors are literally phenomenal. Like I've not tasted any other protein powder that's yet been able to beat this one as far as taste goes. It mixes super great, makes a great protein sludge or pudding. It's got a good texture, and in all of my research, Shakeology has been compared time and time again to Arbonne as both tasting phenomenally well. So if you like Shakeology, you're gonna like this one. And the other great thing that we'll talk about later is the price. This one by far beats, I mean they all do, but by far they all beat the Shakeology price. All right, and the final protein powder that we're gonna talk about for taste is, where'd it go? Ah! Ancient bone broth. Thank you, sir. I'll take that. Fushums. Boosh. So this is the Ancient Bone Broth Protein Powder, and this is the vanilla flavor. So finally, the Ancient Nutrition Bone Broth Protein, which I thought was fascinating before we ever tried this, but taste-wise, the smell is actually great. I'll link a video up here that I did on a few other Shakeology alternatives. One of the ones that I reviewed in that video just had a terrible smell, even though it tasted like okay. This has a phenomenal smell. But the interesting thing is that the taste is like, it's good, it's okay, it's okay. Out of a 10, I'd probably give it like a 4 or a 5. When you mix it with a bunch of stuff, you're not gonna be bothered by it. I've had some protein powders where it's actually bothered me because the taste is so bad, but this it tastes pretty good. It does not mix well with just shaking it with almond milk. You can't just use like a shaker bottle. It just doesn't blend well that way. And you can't make a protein sludge out of this stuff. It's got this interesting texture, but there's other benefits. And I'll link a video up here as well about how you can use this stuff to your benefit to actually really enhance a protein shake. So when you use this, you do have to blend it up, but it kind of creates a really fun, frothy protein shake. And you can use this as well for like protein ice cream, which is a lot of fun. So taste-wise, I'd probably rank this number 3, but it's still all right. All right, so next I want to talk about macros. And honestly, if we're looking at macros, especially between these two, which are both plant-based protein powders, these two are actually pretty consistent. Both have similar amounts of calories. So you're talking for one serving with the Arbonne, it's 2 scoops and it's about 160 calories. You're gonna get 20 grams of protein. The total carbs is about 13 grams and then total fats is actually about 3 grams. And then when you're looking at the Orgains Organic Protein Powder, again, 2 scoops is a serving, it's about 150 calories. You're still getting 20, this is 21 grams of protein. It's 4 grams of fat, so just a touch higher on the fat, and about 15 grams of carbohydrates. So all around basically the same. So the bottom line is that you're getting basically the same amount of protein powder and the rest of the macros pretty much line up the same. All right, so for the ancient bone broth nutrition, again, for the protein, you're gonna get, again, 20 grams of protein, so all pretty equivalent. The one difference here with the ancient bone broth is that the calories are actually less because there's far less carbohydrates overall, only 2 grams of carbohydrates, and the calories, that brings them down to about 100 calories per serving. It's 1 heaping scoop, so it's a bigger scoop, but you still get that same amount of protein. So all are very low on carbs, but if you are dieting or if you're trying to watch for your carbs, just wanna throw a little note in here that don't be afraid of carbs. They're not automatically evil. I'm gonna link a playlist up here about the truth about dieting that's gonna give you a lot of tips for how to successfully lose weight, drop the body fat, and start to get a more lean physique. All right, so also some notes on the different ingredients is that all of them use stevia leaf extract, which I know I've seen some people, they feel like it has a weird aftertaste or a chalky taste. With none of these do I experience that. Although I don't tend to be very sensitive to that. I've tasted that before in the past, but in my opinion, when I taste these protein powders, I don't get that aftertaste. Now, the one interesting thing about the Orgains and the Asian bone broth is that these have no added sugars, and that the Arbonne does have 7 grams of added sugars, which is overall, you're talking it's very minimal. It's not gonna actually impact you a lot. So to put it in perspective though, an apple has about 19 grams of naturally occurring sugar or fructose. And yes, you're right, the fructose that's naturally occurring in an apple is going to have a different impact on blood sugar levels than does cane sugar. But ultimately, what is going to matter is the amount of actual processed and artificial sugars that you're intaking, along with how that looks with your overall calories for the day. So if you are though someone who is looking to completely cut out sugar for a time for whatever reason or not, or you just have to for health reasons, if you have to have 0 sugar, then maybe for a time Arbonne might not be your best option. These two are other great options that won't have any additional added sugars. All right, so let's talk about the benefits of each. Now, for the plant-based protein powders, so these two, they're primarily pea protein. And pea protein is a great option for people who can't have dairy, so whey impacts them really bad, or else if they just have sensitive digestion. A lot of times whey protein powders can actually cause indigestion, gas pains, and a lot of different things like that. Or the other great thing is if you are a vegan, these are a great option for you as well, because they are gluten-free, dairy-free, vegan, and the cool thing about pea protein is it's incredibly satiating. It's a slow digesting protein, so it's really gonna keep you feeling full for longer. And I've actually really felt this and noticed a difference when I do drink plant-based proteins. And like I mentioned before, it's also gonna help with any kind of stomach upset or intestinal irritation if you are someone who is sensitive to dairy, or even if you're not. A lot of people can still have whey and it does tend to bother them for one reason or another. Now, the one unique thing about the Orgains is that it's all organic ingredients, which if that's something that's super important to you, then this is probably a pretty good option for you if it's really important that you have all completely organic ingredients. Now, here's the interesting thing. What's the unique benefit about the bone broth protein powder? Now, bone broth protein powder is gonna give you a lot of really unique added benefits because you're basically drinking bone broth, which I don't know if you've heard some of the benefits of that, but you're drinking the bone broth without having to have bone broth. You can have it in the form of a protein powder. One of the big benefits is that bone broth can provide collagen, and there's evidence that shows collagen can support skin health and elasticity, increase muscle mass, and reduce joint pain. Glycine and glutamine are found in bone broth and may have anti-inflammatory effects, like suppressing the inflammatory inflammatory hormones of IL-6 and TNF, and suppressing free radicals, which can damage cells. So now that sounds like a bunch of jargon. I'm not super technical on all of that, but the impact is pretty cool. If you want to check out a link down below, I'll link an article giving some more information about that. All right, so finally we get to the cost of each, which of course, we want a Shakeology alternative. It's got to be affordable. Now, the cool thing is that all of these are a really pretty good price. And if we're looking at the bone broth protein powder, this is actually the bigger case, the bigger container, where you actually get about 40 servings per container, which is cool. Now, a lot of times you'll only see the smaller version, and at the smaller container, it's about $2 a serving. So in that case, the downside is that the container only holds 20 servings. So you want to look for the bigger container. It's going to be a little more cost effective. And it's really not a bad price considering Shakeology is over $4 a serving. All right, Orgains probably comes up here as our cheapest option at about $1.90 per serving. Now, the downside is that Orgains comes in much smaller containers. So you're only getting 10 servings in this container. You can get this in a 20 serving container, which is still smaller than all the rest, but it's actually the cheapest, coming up the cheapest at about $1.35 per serving. And then finally, Arbonne, I do like as well, you know, with the bone broth, you get a big container. I like the bigger containers. You can get a full bag here that's got 30 servings per container. And this bag of Arbonne is actually $2.56 per serving. But I want to give you a little tip. You can actually get it for $2 a serving, and I'm going to tell you in just a minute how you can do that. Bottom line is I would recommend having a go-to protein powder of your choice that's just kind of like your staple, but then also trying out a couple different ones to kind of have a rotation, and especially have a rotation of different types of protein powders so that you can get the benefits of each kind of protein powder. If you found value in this video and Arbonne protein powder looks like your preferred choice, would you help support this channel and click the link down below? Even at full price, Arbonne is a steal when it comes to the quality, the taste, and the benefits that you're going to be getting with it. But if you would like it cheaper, I would love to give you a way to be able to do that. So you can actually get a 20% discount. Simply pop on over to the website in the description down below and click the link for preferred client. And this will give you 20% off not only your first purchase, but any purchase for an entire year. It costs $20 to sign up, but the cool thing is that the discount almost completely pays for itself just after your first order if all you bought was the protein powder. So if you ever order even just one more time for the protein powder or anything, you're already saving money. So if you enjoyed this video, would you tap that like button? It really would help support and boost this channel. And let me know in the comments down below what you did or didn't like, and don't forget to subscribe and tap the notification bell as well so that you can stay up to date. Someone joined in for the final part of it, so click or tap the screen right up over here for a complete workout program that you can do from home, or click or tap the screen right up over here for another awesome video from the Dad Bod Fitness Library. And as always, be intentional and bring the intensity. And we can't wait to see you on the next video. Bye. Bye.